Yo, it's crypto blood, Detroit flow, streaming from the D, knowing what to show. Indicators are on point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro. I'm Rucker, Jerry, it's just bloods do. Bad motherfucker in a good way, boo. Got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. That's why crypto blood, just the toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Okay. Ready? Right.
Fucking thing sucks! We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. That's right. We're doing it live. My two trades. Special guest today, guys. TradeFly in the building. Hope everyone's doing well out there. We're streaming on 4 different platforms. We're going global. We're going up, baby. We're going up. So, as you guys know, we are very, very close to 100K, baby. 100K. I've been waiting for this day for a long time, baby. At least 7 years. At least 7, 8 years for sure. I've been waiting for this. So this is very, very cool. It'll be a great present from the Satoshi gods if we could hit that 100K while we're live. So let's see. Start buying, people. Pump that bad boy up. Let's go. We got Jerome Jones in the building. Hyben, Mind of Tron, Justine. Thank you guys for all tuning in today. And I don't know if you guys saw this week. Just want to give you some announcements really quickly. The important announcements for this coming week's giveaway. It will be sponsored by Blowfin. So you'll need to scan that QR code you see on the screen right there. Sign up for an account. And then if you're a YouTube member, you're already in the race. If you've super chatted this week, you're already in the race for $50 worth of crypto. USDT will be deposited directly to your Blowfin account. You can do whatever you want with it. All right. So make sure you guys go check out and give thanks to Blowfin for this week's giveaway. Of course, you guys know I'm trading over there with Bloodalytics. You get a free month of Bloodalytics with Blowfin by clicking or scanning that code right there on the screen, and fill out that form and you will get a free month. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up the man of the hour, ladies and gents. Let's bring up the man himself. We got TradeFly in the building. What's going on, TradeFly?
What's up, my dude? How you doing, man? Good to be back.
Yeah, man, doing well. You guys got to go follow TradeFly. He's doing some great things over on Piper Academy's channel. I'll bring that up really quickly. Piper Academy has a slew of shows now. These guys
the
are
network, baby. We're trying to take over.
It's trying to take over, man. That's what I'm talking. Yo, you guys are taking over for sure. So check out TradeFly. He does his Monday through Thursday show over there with my guy, the one and only FD White from the 313 from Detroit. Shout out to him as well. So you guys do that every well, not every day, but Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Is that correct?
Yep, that's it, man. Monday through Thursday. We're grinding, bro. But yeah, FD, he's good peoples. I love FD, man. So we got a real good chemistry going on. So it's a pleasure, man. It's really fun to do. We got a really good group, good base of people that tune in pretty much every single night. So it's good times. It's good times, man. So pretty excited about it.
Yes, indeed. I see Army Piper himself is in the building.
There he is.
Thanks for posting, my friend. Lunar Beaches. Haven't seen him in a while. Thanks for tuning in. Banks and cryptos merging. We don't want that. And crypto, it wasn't for listen. The bank's gonna have to get down with what we doing. We not merging with the banks, ladies and gents. Come on now.
The banks are investing. I don't know that we're merging. I think that they are investing in Bitcoin. They want some of that exposure too, right? Because they're looking for opportunities to make money just like we are. So if they ever merge, it's going to be them doing their own thing. some kind of digital asset, they'll probably try to take that market share in a sense. But right now, I think people are just all jumping on the train, baby. They're all jumping on train. We've been here. We've been here.
We've been here. They can either join the team, like you said, or go against us. And going against us long term is just not going to work. We see what's going on with Gary Gensler. We're going to talk about that in today's episode. Shout out to everyone who dropped that news to us live. What do you think about that? What do you think about that news? Gary Gensler out of here.
It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing in a sense that he just became a puppet. All right. So we all know this dude was pro crypto going into it. And then they basically manipulated him and was like, hey, this is the way you're going to do business. You can see that there's other decision makers here in the process, but you know that. I mean, where's our president? What's he even doing these days?
Oh, he's in the Amazon. You know what I'm saying? He's doing one of these.
Yeah.
He's walking away, TradeFly.
Bro, I can't help but anytime I see someone walk away at this point, Mike Tyson, bro. That meme is going nuts.
Oh my God.
That thing's taking over.
You're right. Yeah, you're right, bro. Absolutely. So we're sitting at 98,650.
I got almost 99.
99, huh?
It's $50 away. $50.
$50 away. So let's take a look really quickly. Hopefully the gods, the crypto gods, can give us 100K on this stream. That would be legendary. For sure, TradeFly.
You have to go change that title.
Yeah, would have to change the title for sure.
There it is, 99.
SEC. Let's take a look at this before we get into the nitty gritty. SEC chair will step down January 20th on the day that Trump makes his way into the
What did he say he was going to do day one?
That's crazy.
He said he was going to get rid of Gary Gensler. I was there. I was there for the conference.
Oh,
bro,
yeah, you were. Right.
That was a pop. That was a pop. He had to double back. He was like, I ain't know y'all didn't like him that much. Like, dang. So he's making it happen. So I'm looking forward to it.
That lets you know he didn't write the speech, right?
Oh, no.
He was like, oh, you guys don't like this guy. Like, seriously.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of him. Well, it looks like he got rid of himself, guys. So we don't have to worry about that at all. Let me see if I can bring that up really quickly. Where's my share on this page? So as you guys see on the screen, I'm just going to read the highlights here. Gary Gensler took over the SEC in 2021, and under his leadership, the commission has taken an ambitious but controversial approach to several regulatory issues, including cryptocurrencies. In addition to Gary's soon-to-be vacant seat, the term for two of the other four SEC commissioners expire in either 2024 or 25. The SEC has also been at odds with Tesla CEO and Trump backer Elon Musk in recent years. So clean house coming, man. Clean house.
You're on the wrong team, Gary. You're on the wrong team, man.
On the wrong team, my friend. Lunar says, I'm going live from my tablet if we break 100K while I'm at work. Hey, there you go, baby.
Everybody's going to be celebrating, man. But the thing is, the question of the day is what happens when we get to 100K? That's going to be the interesting part.
And that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode, because you're a trader. I'm a trader.
Mm-hmm.
We know about psychological whole numbers, right?
Yep.
And 100K, I don't think, other than Berkshire Hathaway stock, there aren't too many other just instruments like financial instruments out there that have 100K on their price. Think about it. I mean, we had like the indices, but that was years and years ago. Well, no, the indices are not even at 100K. So this is how many zeros? 5 zeros. That's a psychological whole number. What do you think? I guess we can get into it now. But what do you think about 100K and what happens at that point?
Yeah, man. So I have a history of shorting all-time highs. Now, right now, we're kind of in price discovery, so I really haven't jumped on this. This is a pretty clean climb up, too. Oh, you got my chart up right now? Let me go over here. Cool, man. So I got, a little thing, when we get up to psychological numbers, one of the big things I was looking at was Solana when it went up to 200 the past couple times. Not this time, right? We finally broke through it, but the first couple times that we retested that area, we saw rejection. So yeah, psychological numbers, I talk about it all the time. I think there's gonna be a little sell-off, right? Because how many people, retail at least, have said 100K, 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 right? So there are going to be people that take profits. I don't know if it's going to be a big sell-off because we didn't have this super aggressive push into 100K. I think it's a pretty clean climb up to 100K. If you look at it, we went up, we consolidated, we went up again. The measured move from this bull flag here on the 4-hour at least takes you to about 101. So I think 100K. So I know we're going to talk, hey, is it achievable? Yeah, it's achievable. It's just a matter if there's going to be a sell-off. And so that's when you start looking at some of the on-chain stuff. So since we are talking about it, I'll go ahead and bring up a couple things here. Let's look at this one. All right. So are investors selling at a profit? And right now, some of them are. You can see right here, it's telling you right now that there is, a negative 3.2% flow over 24 hours, right? So some people are selling and taking profits here, all right, which I expected, somewhere about 98 to about 100K. I did expect people to start taking some profits. It makes a lot of sense. You want to beat the psychological number too. So that's one thing that I always talk about with trading.
Correct.
When you get up to these big psychological numbers, be a little ahead of it. All right. If you're talking about $200, why don't you look at 190? If you're talking about 100K, why don't you look at 98, 99, right? Try to be ahead of it because that's what a lot of the smart money does, right? A lot of the whales, I don't think we're really talking institutions at this point. I don't think institutions are going to take, profits here. I think this is going to be kind of a whale movement. And I'm not saying that we can't come back up to 100K and retest. I think that's very much in play. I just think you're going to have an initial little bit of, a little pullback. And that's all I'm kind of looking at right now. And we're here, right? We're pretty darn close to what we're talking about. So keep an eye on the charts here. But then the other part you want to start looking at is the long-term holders, right? What are they doing? Okay, so that's something you got to keep an eye on as well. Are they starting to exit the market? Essentially the long-term holders, the whales, and that's, you want to keep keep an eye on, some of the metrics, some of the on-chain data to kind of make a decision there as well. But you could go very simple, very simple, and just say, hey, like, we're getting up to 100K, it's psychological. And, then do you have a plan? And this is something that we've been talking about quite a bit on our show.
Gotta have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you're going to hold and you're not going to execute on your predetermined strategy every time.
You will round trip it, right?
Yep.
And that's the thing. And like, you keep holding on because you have your own psychology of like, it's gonna go back up. It's gonna go back up. I just gotta hold. I gotta make it through this. And it's very important to establish some sort of baseline, whether it's something simple as move up your stop loss. Do you lather out? Do you take out your initial investment? Like, there's little things that you can do to at least, be somewhat conservative, right? And I love playing on house money. So I'm really big on finding those support and resistance levels. Psychological number would be one of them. Take out that initial investment. Let's see what it does on house money. And then we have our areas that we're looking at for pullbacks. Where am I like a cutoff and be like, you know what? I want to lock in X number of percentage and, just take my profit. All right. Take my profit there, walk to the piggy bank and just smile. And then we look for the next setup. So I'm really big on that as a swing trader. And then there's other people that are just going to hodl through all of this. And, if you're going to hodl, the one thing that I have to emphasize as someone that hodls is you need to continue to DCA. All right. And I've talked about this quite a bit. And if you take the all-time high from 2021, 69K, all right, and you DCA'd in all the way down to the bear market low, and then the price obviously recovered somewhere around, I think it started going back up around January 2023, 30K. About 30K was your mark where you became profitable again. So not only did you become profitable at 30K, even though you bought the top, you're now continuing to add to that position and you're becoming profitable all the way up to where we're at right now. So thinking about the gains that you had with a DCA strategy. So those that hodl, that is one of my biggest recommendations to you guys. But yeah, man,
So did you see what Mindetron said? What if my plan is to hodl 8+ years? Just keep adding along the way.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I would do personally. And I do have a hodl position now, and to be perfectly transparent with you, when I got into the market, I just kind of like aped in. I was like, cool, let me buy a little Bitcoin, let me buy a little Cardano, let me buy a little bit of this. Everybody's talking about this and this, little Doge, AVAX, things of that nature. Didn't know what I was doing. Was just like, I want exposure. And then, bear market came around, right? I was like, everyone else got a little scared out. I actually reallocated my portfolio to real estate. And then as the market started to recover, I was like, hey, everything looks safe and clear, because let's be honest, FTX was a big fiasco. And that really had a lot of people questioning, what was going to happen. You started looking at Coinbase. Their financials were looking horrendous at the time too, right? So you got to pivot sometimes. And then I ended up pivoting back in with more of a DCA strategy, but I was somewhat of a swing trader, kind of trading on the way up, traded on the way down. That's kind of where I learned to start reading the charts. But yeah, again, I've done the math, man. It's so much easier to just DCA in, and it's conservative, and you usually win more so than someone like me who actively trades. It's statistics. And so that's why I always recommend that to people that have either a long-term plan or they're just getting in. And the other thing that I always think about is Michael Saylor, right? Not that I'm like this massive fan of him, even though he's been great for the market. One of the things that he said was like, where do you see Bitcoin in 5 to 10 years? And I see it as an investment at this point. I see it being profitable. And if you're looking at it like NVIDIA, if you're looking at it like Apple, I think it will outperform most of them, right? And NVIDIA might be a different story. It's in a different class of its own right now. But Google, Microsoft, things of that nature, I think that Bitcoin will outperform them over a 5 to 10 year period. So now it becomes an investment, and I'm treating it more so like a 401k or a traditional Roth IRA. Obviously the tax advantages aren't there, but they might be.
The problem I have with people comparing Bitcoin to equities is that you're comparing apples to oranges. Bitcoin is not a productive asset. It does not yield you anything, versus a company hypothetically could give dividends, could pay dividends, but you get a PE ratio, right? You get a price based off price to earnings ratio, somewhat, right? That's how you get price discovery on a stock. Somewhat. That's a very simple, broad, layman's terms way of explaining it. So I don't like comparing Bitcoin to any stock. If anything, you got to compare it to gold and silver.
That's fair. And again, I think my comparison is more so in the sense that it has become an investment, right? Like that, I think of it in my mindset as an investment now. I don't think of it as like this speculation of me like jumping into something. It's like, I'm just saying 5 to 10 years down the road, like how is it going to compare to these assets or stocks or companies? And I just think it's going to outperform them. And so that's why I've been very bullish on crypto.
You just reminded me. I'm going to highlight this. Hopefully I can bring it up on the fly. Because there's a guy out of Chicago I've been following for years and years, a very smart individual. Some of you may know Bianco. Let me see if I can find Bianco's response to, I want to say Jim Bianco. Here we go. So check this out. This was a response to Robert Kiyosaki, who I'm going to get back on the show. I had him on a few years ago when he predicted. He was late, but it ended up coming to pass the $75,000 Bitcoin. But here's what Jim Bianco said here in response to Robert Kiyosaki down here. So he says, this is very key for people to understand, and he's spot on in my opinion. According to Saylor, Bitcoin's potential is 13 million by 2045. This would put Bitcoin's market cap at around 25 or 250 trillion versus 2 trillion today. To put this in perspective, the world's GDP is currently 105 trillion and the world's stock markets are 125 trillion. So in 20 years, Bitcoin will be worth more than all human production, GDP, and private property equities combined. This assessment right here, to me, TradeFly, is a little off, because that means this is an assumption that the GDP and stock market all freezes at today's value.
Yep.
So if I wouldn't come to that conclusion there. So I would say that, of course, we will have a much higher world GDP at that point, and we will have a much higher equities and private property, price valuation at that point in 20 years as well. But anyway, today 100K buys at a top of the line Mercedes or BMW. Today, $13 million would buy a top of the line Hampton Beach house. Question: what will 13 million buy you in 2045? Top of the line summer home, a top of the line Mercedes Benz, or a used Honda? He goes on to say, I'll offer an answer. $13 million Bitcoin or adding 250 trillion to wealth will create massive hyperinflation. Or to turn it around, 13 million comes about because of massive hyperinflation. Hyperinflation means the collapse of all fiat currencies and all value priced in fiat currency. So 13 million in 2045 will only get you the same amount as 100K today, probably less, a used Honda. So he said, I'm not arguing that $13 million is unrealistic for Bitcoin. I'm arguing that the scenario that makes this happen over the next 20 years is not good. It is the destruction of all value as we currently know it. It is replaced by a new measure of account, Bitcoin. I thought this was an excellent response from a guy who really, really knows the markets. How do you feel about that statement there?
I feel like that's a whole nother debate in itself, because we're now talking about the collapse of cash, like the dollar. You're not just talking about the collapse of Bitcoin. Because I mean, we take that, that value, right? We always equate it to the dollar. Like, we can't help it. Even though one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, we always say, how much is one Bitcoin right now? And right now, we know what that answer is. But you're saying there's a greater issue here. Hyperinflation, that's a big issue. You're talking about the collapse of the dollar. That's a massive issue. And I think we're having a whole nother discussion at that point. But when it really comes down to what is the intrinsic value of Bitcoin, then that's really hard to predict, because it could actually have more value than that. You don't know what it's going to be valued at, because people could be like, hey, this is like gold to me. All right, so this is actually more valuable than a dollar, or $100,000 or whatever the case may be. You can't predict that from time now. So I think that's a whole nother discussion in itself personally. But yeah, man, it'd be interesting to see. But again, for me personally, my viewpoint is 5 to 10 years, it will outperform most of my other investments. And if
I agree with that. I think my assessment of Jim Bianco's statement, their tweet, is the fact that $1 million Bitcoin doesn't mean $1 million nominal. It doesn't mean $1 million nominally, like today's value of $1 million when it happens. It'll be worth less in future dollars. So that million may be in today's terms 300,000, 400,000. So I just want people to keep that in context and understand that yes, we will most likely get to $1 million Bitcoin, or even higher, 13 million as has been stated here by Michael Saylor. But that $13 million doesn't mean $13 million in today's purchasing power. It'll be tomorrow's diluted purchasing power. Just
so we're talking about $100 box of cereal at that point.
There you
right?
go.
Like,
there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So, yeah, I thought that was a good one. Yeah, man. So we are still teetering around. Where do you have Bitcoin right now? I've got it on my chart from Bitfinex at 98.42.8.
Trading View is at 98.5.
98.5. Okay, gotcha. So are you in any short-term positions right now? I can show before you do that, I'll show my Bloodalytics trades. We have right now, guys, 2 trades open. A long Bitcoin, I'm up looks like 53% and up 31% on the BNB trade, which we did take partial profits on I think at the beginning of our show. So let me see if I can bring that up really quickly, and I'll let you show your positions and how you're looking right now. So yeah, we're along 2 trades right now. If I bring up this chart, we can show where we are. So this is sequence of trades today. It's been kind of choppy for a TradeFly, but we ultimately were able to get a nice short in and take some profits and win this short right here. And then we turned around and made a long here at 10 a.m. or almost 11 o'clock this morning. So we've ridden that all the way up and took half our position off right here at about $97,000 Bitcoin. And now we're just letting the rest ride. And with BNB, we are currently in a long trade as well, which we took last night or this morning at about 10:47, almost around the same time that we did the Bitcoin long. So we're in that. Took a little bit off the table, half off the table here at 2 o'clock today, and we're just letting that ride out. So what are you positioned in right now, TradeFly?
Right now, I do not have any short-term trades open currently. Okay. So I will say that I am looking to see what we do as we get up here around 199K. So I am very cognizant of what's going on in the market right now. And then I'm going to be looking for a potential short, but I want to see us break this trend, right? Not only is this a measured move, but I'm also using it as a trend line. You can see the pretty clean climb up. And then I want to see some consolidation with a breakout. It looks like we are getting a little bit of a rejection right now, but $1,000 isn't really much to write home about. But I would be looking, for a retracement down to the previous high, right? So we're looking at, we had an ascending triangle kind of building up here. I would look for a retracement there. And then, we're looking about where can we add to the position again? So you do have some consolidation around 94K with this trend line that was basically riding up this whole period of consolidation here, where you're seeing basically a bull flag with an ascending triangle. So you have some confluence at around 94. You also have the value area high, where you did see some interaction there with price action. But that's really where I'm going to be looking for my next entry. And right now it's kind of a wait and see. I'm not taking a long position. I'm definitely not taking a long position right now. But I would be more interested in a short. If you come down to the oscillators that we use, we are starting to show some overbought. We are starting to see a trend down right here. So that is on the 4-hour. We'll see how that plays out. The one thing you want to look for with price action right now that we're getting up to an area, our psychological, it's a notional area of resistance right now. We are totally making this up. But one thing
it's
that you
real.
want to look for,
that's real, bro.
Yeah. But
real.
What you want to look for is, do you see that price continue to kind of go up and then hesitate, right? Does it start going a little bit sideways? And if you start seeing a little bit of sideways action there, then you're likely to see, let me just make sure I still have this, you're likely to see this, right? So now you're seeing that you're losing a little bit of momentum going into that. You break this trend line. Like I said, then I would probably be looking for a little bit of a pullback. And I'm not saying it's going to be dramatic, but I do think there will be a small sell-off, just mostly whales, people that have been, in Bitcoin for a long time, taking some profits. And why not? It makes a lot of sense. They have a plan too. There's some very smart people that are invested in Bitcoin. So, 94K, that's an area that I'll be looking at for some price action, probably a little bounce in that area. And, so small play down, I'll look for a short, and then probably a small little long position off about 94K is kind of what I'm looking at here. So something a little bit like that. You can make money both ways. So again, short play down to about 94K. We'll see how it interacts. And if you do get a nice wick off of that area showing you buying pressure. So when I say that, just come down and look for stuff like this, where you see these, you have a trend line, right? You had an identified trend line, because you can see right here, resistance, resistance, resistance at multiple touches. It broke through. So we flipped what was resistance into support. Look at this wick. All right. This wick is now saying what was resistance is now support. I'll look for something similar here. All right. So if I see something similar there, then that would be my indication with a closed candle that we might have an opportunity to take a long position. So again, that's some setups that I'm looking at. But let me give you guys some really simple alpha. All right. I've talked about this on my show quite a bit. But if you guys are new or haven't seen me before, not really familiar with me, this play right here is one of the simplest things that you guys can do. All right. It's literally take the weekly chart, flip your candles to Heikin-Ashi. All right. So just go up here, Heikin-Ashi, select those on the weekly, and look at how beautiful this plays out. What I would challenge you to do, all right, is do the math. All right. I know you guys are like, well, I'm here to watch you do the math. Take it from the all-time high. Take it from here where you think that there's going to be a lot of muck and indecision. That's where I started my analysis, right? Where I was like, all right, let's see how this plays out. Anytime that the candle flips, right? It's that simple. Take it from the opening, on the candle and measure it. All right. So obviously it won't flip. You got to go to the next one. Understand that. You flip, you go down. All right. Here's where it flipped white. So we would have closed on that one. As soon as it closed, we close. 29% move. All right. Here we go. Again, flips, measure down. First candle flips. Obviously, you won't be able to close till next. 28% move. You get some muck in here, all right? Obviously, some muck, but you think that these are small moves. Some of these moves are not. So you probably lose a couple trades in here. No biggie, all right? These are small percentage losses, I promise you. All right, I have done the math real time, broke it all down. And then let's go next candle. It's a 29% move. Doesn't look like much, but it's much. Probably lose a couple in this area right here, small percentage losses. And then same thing. So what I'm getting at is go to these bigger moves. So these little things, whatever, 4%, 14%, all good, all Gucci. And then let's go about where the close is. Let's go here. We flip. That's a 45% move. Do the math on this right here. That's about double that. I mean, there's some muck in here. Some of these are wins though too. This is enough to have a win. All right. This one right here, the latest, let's go from where we're at. We got the flip, boom, to where we're at present time, 45% move. So think about it. 45% move. Another 45% move, another 45% move.
That makes up for all those little losses.
It does, and then some. So that's a very conservative way to swing trade, and it's probably one of the simplest strategies out that no one really talks about.
But you have to be patient. It's not sexy.
It's not.
It's not sexy.
But it's effective.
It is.
It is effective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
There you go. Want to bring something to the table.
Yes, sir. He's dropping the alpha, guys. Go follow my guy TradeFly right now. Let me bring this up on the screen again so you guys can go follow him ASAP Rocky. Let's see if I can bring up TradeFly really quickly. It's what is it? TradeFly 8, right?
TradeFly 8. Yeah, whoever had TradeFly, that bum, he got banned, and there's no way for me to get the screen name now. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. So yeah, go follow TradeFly 8, the number 8 on X right now, guys. Definitely do that and check them out tonight, right? Last night for this week, crypto nightcap.
Yeah, man, it's
White and TradeFly.
It's man, I'm digging the show, man. It's a lot of fun doing that with FD, and I won't be there tonight though. I do have some prior commitments. My little guy, it's his birthday, and then I have a coaches meeting. I'm out there. I'm still touching grass, baby. So I love coaching. It's one of my big things, man. I've grown up being a sports guy, so getting out there coaching again. I got a coaches meeting, so I got a busy night. So it's gonna be FD, and we might have someone special running the show. I won't let that go yet. But tune in. It's always a good one, and we're gonna get you back on there too, man.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. A little birdie told me years back. My guy, good friend, Max Keiser, told me when he was in Detroit. I had him come in years ago to do an event with me. He and Stacy. And over dinner, he says that, I'm selling some. He's like, I haven't sold any since 2012. Yeah, I think he got in 11 or 12. He said, I'm selling some at 100K. Now, at this point, I think Bitcoin may have been 20K, 14K, somewhere around there. And he said that a lot of his circle of OGs were going to take some profits at 100K. Now, look, a lot has changed. The environment has changed. Reasons for hodling might have changed, right? So I'm just letting people know, at least that's what Max Keiser told me. What was that? Shoot, man, what year was that? That was about 6 years ago. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in 100K.
I think there's people that have limit positions to get out at 100K, and they probably don't even remember at this point. Like I just think there's going to be a little bit of a sell-off. And I'm not saying it'll be intense, but because the climb up is different. The climb up is nice. It's really nice. Like it doesn't look crazy, and it's not like a 10K wick. It's not going to be nasty. I just think there's going to be a little bit of a pullback, and it's good. I love seeing it, man. The structure looks good. So yeah, my sentiment is still pretty high for Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mindatron said institutions came in and changed the game. Yeah, that
They
did
did.
change the game. The institutions weren't really prevalent like that at the time that Max told me these things. So a lot has changed for sure. Any last things you want to share with the crew? You dropped some real alpha there at the end. Anything else you want to share with everyone today?
Yeah, I'll give you one more thing to keep an eye on, we'll say. All right.
Okay.
And it won't be as applicable right now. I mean, there's a massive divergence here if you're looking at the reserves on the exchange, right? Like, this is crazy. We are like bottoming out right now. So retail is back. All right. The sentiment is through the roof. So keep an eye on that. That's a trading strategy in itself. But one of the things that I want you to keep an eye on, there's going to be bear markets, right? There's totally going to be bear markets. And what I want you to do is look at the chart. Look at the chart. We had our move up in 2023, right? This is where price action started to come up. But look what happened before this move up. Look at this steep drop. People came in and really bought. But look, not only did they buy, like you saw an outflow on the exchanges, but the price action went down. This is crazy. So people came in and sucked up Bitcoin. You see a very slow rise, and that's when we started getting the pop. So, when we get into a bear market again, I would urge you kind of keep an eye on that. And the other thing is keep an eye on the fear and greed index. That's a small little strategy in itself that people use, right? Like, we're in extreme greed. I know people that trade based on this. And, if you go back historically and you just look at this, it's something, I'm not saying it's a one-stop shop, just use fear and greed index, but start putting it into your scan. Look, where are we at? Where's the sentiment? Is your grandma calling and asking you about Bitcoin right now? Because mine is, so, that's historically when we see a little bit of pullbacks too, right? Because smart money likes to dump it on your face. Like he said, though, who was it that said it in there? He said it changed the game. Mindatron. That it had institutional investment has definitely changed it, right? I don't think that we're going to see crazy sell-offs or crazy moves anymore. I think it's going to stabilize the market a little bit. So going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But just a couple things for you guys to look at, long term here, and that's about what I got.
So what's your assessment of January 20th? Do you think we get a buy the rumor, sell the news? Like this bull market, this resurgence of the bull market was sparked because of Trump's win.
Yeah,
so do you
100%.
see a buy the rumor, sell the news when he's inaugurated? Do you see a sell-off at that point?
I don't. Okay. I believe that there's gonna be sentiment that just continues. I think there's gonna be bullish news after bullish news after bullish news with him being in. Like, let's say he says, all right, we're gonna use Bitcoin now as a reserve. Right? You're now taking Bitcoin out of the market. That's not going to go back and forth. That is now gone, right? That's not for you to use anymore. So what do we have, right? We have an asset that, is intrinsically, like, it's just losing my train of thought here, but basically, like, there's less of it. There's less of it available to us, right? So if there's less of it available to us, yes, a finite ice. Thank you. Yeah. And so that increases value because it makes it more desirable. And that's the other thing you got to look at, right? I think we're at, I want to say 94% of the mined Bitcoin at this point. Like, there's just going to be less and less of it. Unfortunately, people are going to pass away. What happens? That Bitcoin's probably going to disappear. There's people that lose it. That Bitcoin's going to disappear forever. So it once it's gone, it's gone. Like, that does nothing but increase the value, especially if we are saying, like, this is here to stay, which makes it, again, it makes it that more, desirable for myself in terms of an investment.
Yeah, good point. I'm going to take the opposite. I think that January 20th, we do see a sell-off. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Wherever we end up at that point, we will see a sell-off. But to your point, at whatever point, I don't think he's going to do it immediately, but at some point in his term, first year, most likely, he's going to say what he's going to do with fulfilling that prophecy, or not prophecy, but more so fulfilling that obligation or promise he made at Bitcoin 2024 of making Bitcoin some type of reserve for the U.S. When he does that, bro, it's up and it's stuck. Round of applause. It's up and it's stuck.
Yeah, I mean, he said he wants to make it the crypto capital of the world, right?
Oh, it's up and it's stuck, bro. When he says that,
security of the world, Craig. Not just
there you go, baby.
There it is. Of the world, Craig. Of the world.
When he does that, bro, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah, that, I mean, and then the taxes too, right? If he really implements that, dude, it's just, I can't see it do anything but go up. If these things come to fruition, now I know a lot of people are like, hey, like there's a lot of promises that come out, you know, from presidential elects, presidents. They say they're going to do a lot, but they don't. I think that a lot of this can happen, and there's calls for it to happen. There's a very heavy crypto influence now with elected officials. I mean, a ton of, you know, officials got in that are pro crypto. So yeah, I'm still bullish, man. Like even if there's a little sell off, I'm still long term bullish. And there's an argument to be said that we haven't even hit the parabolic move. If you believe in cycles,
right?
You know, this was front run. You had an ETF and you had a president that was coming in that was bullish on crypto. Then had clear regulation. Was like, hey, I want to do this. Like, man, I don't know. Like, I'm not even a big like bulltard. I got to be honest with you. And you know, I flip back and forth. Like, you know, there's times where me and Army are very different. He's bullish, I'm bearish. I'm bearish, he's bullish. Like right now, my sentiment has never been so high over the past, ever since I went to Bitcoin conference. I'll say my sentiment hasn't been so high. So,
gotcha. Well, we're gonna leave everyone with this one. It's a little parody skit from Instagram. I hope you guys enjoy this.
How much y'all say? 45, 47. 45, 47.
547.
Just hurry up. I got customers to serve. 45, all right. How much y'all say? 45, 47.
All right, we out of here, people.
47. Just hurry up. I got customers to serve.
Later. Thanks for having me.
Yo, it's crypto blood, Detroit flow, streaming from the D, knowing what to show, indicators are wrong point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro, I'm Rucker, Jerry, it's just blood too, bad motherfucker in the good.
As late as you need me to be, Lunar Beaches, let's do it.
Money, gotta keep it creep. That's my crypto blood. Just the toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live.
Okay.